Such a dramatic background. There was a fire! Alrighty. Where were we? Shi Lon Lang pushes back. Alright, it's been about an extra week since I streamed. I was away on vacation, but I has now returned for the great final case of Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney Investigations, numero uno. Let's go see what the heck's going on. Reached the middle at least, so maybe we only have 4 streams left. March 14th, 7:44 p.m. Theatrum Neutralis lobby. Oh, look who's here. Count off. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1. Shifu, 99 callouts. So all 99 members are most likely here and accounted for, sir. Hey, Captain. Welcome. Hey, you. Yeah, you. The second number 1 from my right. Sir, yes, sir. Here, a birthday present for you. What? Shifu, I didn't know that you knew all of our birthdays. Like, I'll give him this. He's very good to his people. What a kind heart you have. Shifu, you are more of a man than will ever be, sir. I'm really sorry, but it's not my birthday. Lang Shi says a cub who disrespects others soon feels the disciplinary bite of an elder. That present isn't for you, it's for your younger brother's wife's younger brother. Tell him I said hi, and happy birthday, won't you? Yes, sir! Shifu, I can't believe you remember that much about each of us. Shifu, I'm sorry, I'm so moved that I can't stop crying. I should probably leave them to their alone time. Alright, meeting's over. Everyone head for your posts. Dismissed. Sir! You had a 1 in 365.25 chance of getting that right. Either that was an impressive ass pull, or he was truly dedicated himself to memorizing too much of his men's lives. I know, right? Yo, were you guys in there the whole time? I got a call from Sheena. She's already filled me in. Sounds like you're out to get in my way again. I have absolutely no intention of interrupting your investigation. I simply request that you grant me permission to investigate the Albastian embassy. And what if I say no? Objection! Agent Lang, this man is my subordinate. As I have received permission from the ambassador, he has extended the same rights. Sorry, sis, it's not that simple. Albahest has the strict immigration regulations in the world. Or didn't you know? Even among my elite men, only about half of them were admitted into the country. Besides, any more cooks in the kitchen, we might spoil the soup, if you get what I mean. Respect the gamble, but my dude, when I'm questioning the validity of the gamble, you have a problem. How dare you make such an assumptions? Don't take this the wrong way, but I thought I was in charge of Albahest, Miss Von Karma. Look, try to understand, okay? Things over in Albahest are a bit of a mess right now. What do you mean by a bit of a mess? No one told you? We had an incident in Albahest as well. This is what we call a decision based on the investigation, Mr. Prosecutor.
Look, Wolfie, just let us in already.
Hold it.
Is there a problem here, Agent Lang?
Not really. Just having a discussion about whether or not to let these guys in.
Ambassador Alba, I ask that you please allow these people to join the investigation.
Having a debate because of my country. I'm terribly sorry for placing you good people in that kind of situation. It is all because I lacked the strength to govern well.
Please, it's nothing of the sort, Ambassador.
You weakling! Caracus!
Caracus?
Curse your frailty and inability to effect change in your country!
What are you...
The thing is, investigations conducted in my country have been under Agent Lang. And it is my judgment that in order to minimize disruption in the investigation, I should leave everything up to Agent Lang.
There, you see?
Oh, no way!
Hold it!
Ambassador Alba, I ask you to please reconsider letting them into Albahest. What's that? My very own secretary has been murdered in the
Babalis embassy.
And he was apparently caught up in some very shady dealings, completely unbeknownst to me. So I ask that for your cooperation in our investigation. These aren't much, but I hope they can cover your travel expenses to Babal someday.
Alright, I get it. Even if you beg Ambassador Alba, I still have to give the final okay anyway.
Alright, you hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? We're in.
Not so fast, my little crow girl. You're still a witness in the Babal murder. So I'd like you to please stay in the Republic of Babal. Detective Gumshoe, please take good care of Kay for me.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good to me. Fewer troublemakers, the better. They're all mad. Alright, well, I get to go with Francisca at least.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes.
So, I wanted to ask for a while now, but that lady over there, is she who I think she is?
Ah, that's right. I didn't introduce the two of you yet.
Francisca von Karma, the prosecutorial protege. It's nice to see you again. Oh, I knew it! You're the whip lady!
You may address me as Miss von Karma.
Miss von Karma, I leave the investigation of Albahest in your hands.
Thanks. Rest assured, I will outsmart both the smuggling ring and the Yatagrasu. The smuggling ring, huh? Perhaps I should ask Francisca a bit more about them before I head to Albahest. And I mustn't forget to thank Ambassador Palino for all he has done for me. Oh my god, there's too many voices. Okay. Deep breaths. We have to talk to some people, and then we're finally going to go to the other side and see what the heck's going on over there. Alright. Please, Francisca, for anyone having to voice you now and in the future, stay away from 4+ syllables. It's pretty hard. You've made so much progress in your investigation in such a short period of time. It is truly amazing.
Agent Hicks, whose help I had requested, was cut down before he completed his task.
There was no room for further failure in my perfect investigation. In spite of that, I believe you were able to obtain some insight into the ring, correct? It was nothing. I simply made some deductions based on the smuggled item I was following. You mean the Babali's ink? But why are there restrictions on the export of Babali's ink to begin with? That's classified Interpol info. Francisca, as your subordinate, I am part of your investigation now. Don't you think it would be beneficial if I was as well informed as you? Point taken. Very well. I will fill you in. Recently, we discovered a very well-made counterfeit bill circulating in Zerfa. Counterfeit bills? Yes, as you may have deduced, the counterfeits are being made with Babal's special Babali's ink. And it is virtually impossible to distinguish bills made from Babali's ink from the real ones. Thus, it was only natural for Interpol to keep an eye on the Republic of Babal. That's where this document comes into play, correct? Correct. Mr. Cochin was smuggling large amounts of Babali's ink. Furthermore, he was charged with running the embassy's printing equipment. That's all the evidence I need to know that he was the head of the smuggling ring. However, there remains one tiny problem. Let me guess. You still have yet to find the counterfeit bills or the smuggled ink? Yes, and while we're listing things, I might as well add the counterfeit plates to the pile. Since we haven't been able to locate any of these items in the Babali's embassy, we're looking into the Alberhestian embassy next. It doesn't matter where they're hiding. Mark my words. I will find them. Counterfeit bills! Man, they're smuggling and counterfeits. Okay. Ambassador Palermo, I am in your debt.
No, it's nothing. Because it's all I can do for you, I'm afraid. I only ask that you please bring Manny's killer to justice.
I will, Ambassador, on my honor.
Wow, you're so sensational. You've really piqued my curiosity. I know they aren't much, but I know that I'm giving them to you wholeheartedly.
No, that's quite all right.
Oh, well, how about this then?
Ooh, some ink. And what exactly is that?
It's a fountain pen ink. Known as Babali's ink. It's made exclusively in Babal.
So this is Babali's ink.
We make it from white crystal oil, which is mined through our mineral mines. Please accept this ink. One dip with your fountain pen in this, and you can write for hours in your organizer.
How fortunate for me. The ink in my pen just happened to have run out. I'll gladly accept your gracious gift.
Miles does seem like the type that would, like, write all of his reports in, like, calligraphy ink and stuff.
Okay, 1 second here. I just need to fiddle with... Let's close that. And... the rest of this should be okay. Alright. I just noticed I had a bunch of dropped frames, so I'm wondering if... I think it should be okay. Alright. Definitely owns at least one, if not more, pens that are worth more than Phoenix's entire office. It's true.
Great! Wonderful! I guarantee to you that writing with our ink is an unforgettable experience. And since we don't export it, if you run out, you're always welcome to come and visit our fair nation.
Talk about cornering the customer along with the market. Well, shall we get going? Hold it. What's wrong, Kay?
I didn't get permission to enter Albahest. So we're gonna go gather whatever info we can over in Bobali's side, okay?
All right, I'm counting on you two.
Right, and I'm counting on you and Miss Von Karma to sniff out clues in Albahest. Oh, and Mr. Edgeworth, if you happen to come across my phony, you let me know, okay? If you tell me, I'll rush over straight away, no matter where you are.
And probably Gumshoe's entire net worth. I don't know, Gumshoe's net worth is not that high. I'll let you know when the time comes. Also, hey CJ. Oh my god, guys! Look who it is! March 14th, 8:17 p.m. The Albessian Embassy, Ambassador's Office. What do you think you're doing to my subordinate? Who's behind the mask? Place your bets now! It could be anyone. CJ is probably including the value of Gumshoe's organs on the black market. That's fair. Sigh. God damn it. Rups Temple. Edgy! Oh, thank the heavens you're here! I'm in a really, really big pickle, your lordship! The raven, it appeared, poof! And then disappeared, swoosh! And though I am the steel samurai, my sword, it... I'm so confused. I don't know what anything means anymore. Who is this fruitcake? This case is proof that God hates Edgeworth. Welcome back, Larry Butts. I'm Larry of the House of Butts, married man of Neo Tokyo, milady. Now I remember. This person is one of your friends, isn't he, Miles? Yes, frighteningly enough, he is. Hey, what's up with that answer? Your best bud is in a bind, and you act like it's no big deal. What sort of bind are we talking about here? This is the equivalent of Spider-Man coming to your birthday and seeing it's your uncle in a costume. Fred is a very loose term. The suspect kind! I accidentally became a suspect in a murder! I see. That is quite a bind. Not that they're the least bit surprised. Yes, I pretty much expected this news. From the instant I saw this unlucky face. His name is Larry Butts. I've known him since grade school, and for as long as I've known him, he has been the world's largest source of trouble with a capital T. Hey, what kind of introduction is that? You're so mean, Edgy. If you're not careful, you might find your tiny number of friends go down by one. Well, that wasn't called for. Besides, you're... Wait. Hold on. Larry! Was you? You're the one who wrote my Steel Samurai autograph? Oh, no. Huh? Oh, you didn't notice earlier? I even winked at you through my headpiece. What is going on? And why are you beet red? Sorry, but Could you not speak to me right now? Hold it! I'm sorry. Am I interrupting your comical yet melodramatic play? The autograph's dead to me. Aha. So this was the incident you mentioned earlier. Mr. Prosecutor, this childhood friend of yours, is our prime suspect. Of what, you ask? Of the murder of the man who snuck into the embassy. Masked to Mask 2! Oh my goodness. We're seeing the sequel before we can see the prequel, the first one in Trials and Tribulations. I believe that's where Mask to Mask is from. How Edgeworth maintained his fandom after this is nothing short of a miracle. Mask to Mask 2? Only Larry could get himself into yet another mess as fine as this. But no matter what the facts seem to say, Larry is not the type to commit murder. The cafe case, if I recall. Is that the one? It might be. Is it though? Because I'm pretty sure in the cafe case you're defending Maggie. Whereas in the Mask to Mask case, you're defending like the guy that people are accusing of being Mask to Mask. Okay. Still, it's rather daunting stroke of misfortune I've struck. I have to prove that Larry Butts is innocent of all the wrongdoing, because he is always in these situations.
Shifu, we've identified the victim.
Good work. I'll take the report now. Agent Lang, would you mind if I took a peek at it as well? What did I tell you earlier, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't get in my way. There's only enough flesh here to feed one wolf, and that one is me. So no, you may not take a peek. But Agent Lang! Hold it! Hey, look who it is! Agent Lang, will you allow an investigator such as myself to take a look? Yes, of course. You let the detective see the file. You're Detective Bad! You're the prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth, right? Fancy meeting you here, Detective. You weren't expecting me? Ever since that day 7 years ago, I've chased after the Yatagarasu. Non-stop. Shows how well I remember Trials and Tribulations. Yeah, I've only played it the one time. Excellent, just what Katie wanted. Another deep-voiced male character. I like that my cast consists of a bunch of deep-voiced male characters and then female characters with thick accents and K. Okay. Ever since that day 7 years ago, I've chased after the Yatagarasu non-stop. I even pressured Interpol into keeping me in the loop in case a card was ever found. What an incredible dedication to the case. Detective Bad knows the Yatagarasu's MO very well, and his passion for the chase hadn't died down in these 7 long years. It's something I can respect. But Detective Bad, I must ask, are you gonna make an ally out of this prosecutor? My only goal is to arrest the Yatagarasu. If he can get to the bottom of this case, then I'm willing to share info with him. I am in your debt, Detective Bad. About the murder of Damask 2, would you be willing to fill me in on the few details? When the Yatagarasu showed up, Agent Lane and I took ourselves off guard duty and put ourselves in charge of directing things at the crime scene. Taking advantage of the chaos, Damask 2, he broke into this embassy. Probably to steal some treasure or another. And I suppose he lost his life when he was forced to fight someone else in the room. Why exactly was that man placed under arrest, Detective? That samurai? He was born looking suspicious, but not for the reason you suspect, I assure you. As you can plainly see, he is completely harmless. Well, it was just a random guess. It's not like he's actually under arrest. Tonight, here at Albahestian Embassy, the Ambassador Alba was to give a commemorative speech. And that's when the Yatagarasu showed. Da da da! But keep in mind, the Yatagarasu isn't who I'm talking about right now. Those seats, for the guests who had been called to sit in them, were empty. And no-show. Who was it that failed to take their seat? The Steel Samurai. Until the speech was to begin, each member of the entire Steel Samurai family was to wait in a separate room. However, for some weird reason, that man was spotted in a different location than his assigned room at that time. And where was he? God damn it, Larry. What the fuck are you doing? Why? Why? He was on the roof, with one of his legs down a chimney. That chimney leads directly into this room. Larry Butts, you've really outdone yourself this time. What were you thinking? It's almost Christmas! That's perfect. Oh no, Larry definitely committed the murder. Case closed, put him away for life. Okay. In any case, I believe it is high time for me to start my investigation. Begin investigation! Alright, well, let's look at these knives. There's some weapons on display on this wall. A crossbow, and under that, a set of knives bearing the flower motif. They must be the counterparts to the Babalzian knives, which means the blades inside these scabbards should match the blades that was used to kill Mr. Cochin. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Knives adorned with flowers are on display here. I suspect that these are the counterparts to the Babalzian knives. The blades of these knives should match the blades in the knife that killed Mr. Cochin. But one of the knives is missing its blade. Let's see if the two pieces of the blade and the handle fit each other. Shocker. It would appear they fit together quite well, almost seamlessly. Then this means that the Bastian knife did find its way to Babal. But how? Why is this weapon on display in a place like this? I wondered why there is no whips on display here. It's the Steel Samurai's primary weapon, the Samurai Spear. Isn't it awesome? I totally fell for this thing. It's sleek and shiny, just like my heart. It comes at you like whoosh. When you hold it, you just want to live life like bam. You do well to watch what you say, Larry. Although it is just as Larry says, the spear is quite
the symbol of valor. However, speaking of a spear, aren't you supposed to use them by thrusting this point straight into your opponent? I'm not entirely convinced the spear is up to the task. It is kind of bent.
What's wrong, Edgy? You're just staring off in the distance. Oh, I get it. Tell you what, I'll tell the studio to make you one, okay? But that one's mine.
I didn't say anything about wanting one. Maybe I can shut him up if I show him a piece of evidence that will point out something about the spear. Do I actually have something? Because I assume the bent spear is what they're talking about. Is it literally just this where it shows it's supposed to be straight? In his, like, autograph? That feels random, but I guess that would be something to use here. So look at this plant. It's Windle! What is that plant supposed to be? Francisca, can't you see that it's supposed to be the likeness of Alabaster Alba?
Miss Edwards, as a subordinate, you have a lot of nerve to tell me what to think. I look forward to your salary assessment next month.
You are deluding yourself if you think you have any control over that. I can spot absolutely no difference between this and Prima Doc statue and the bubbles.
The statue's face looked a bit like that costumed hero that you like so much. I only wonder why you Americans have such an affinity for this kind of face.
The statue wasn't made about an American, you know. At least, I don't suppose so. This plate is weird, and I'm gonna show you why. Larry, about the spear.
Oh, are you feeling it? Bam!
I thought there was something strange about the spear. Tell me, Larry, is it just me? Or is the spear bent a bit?
What? No! Wait, it's exactly as it should be, yo!
Larry strikes me as a for real kind of person.
For real?
I have here the autograph you wrote for me earlier. Now take a good look at which you drew with your own hands. You can see that the spear is clearly of a different shape. What do you have to say about that?
I'm sorry! When I held the spear in my hands, all of a sudden I feel super powerful. And then, during practice, I was spinning it around and around. And bam! It hit the wall.
Hold it. It's all unbelievable. This is an embassy.
But I've always been like that ever since I was a kid.
One time, on an overnight field trip, I bought a fake sword and played with it late that night.
I'm just so useless, hot-blooded man.
Larry, clarify that for me, will you?
Okay, so it was some field trip, and I began shadow fighting with myself.
Not that! I meant what you said earlier about the spinning the spear and hitting the wall.
Oh, that. It's no biggie. It's not like I left a hole or anything.
Look, he may be an idiot, but I get it.
That's not why I'm asking, Larry. The samurai spear is made of metal. I somehow doubt that a move as simple as spinning it around would cause it to bend.
Man, Edgy, you're so naive.
What? Where did that come from? Okay, but considering Larry's girlfriend woes, I bet he plays with his sword a lot. Replica props are fun. I personally do not own any swords or spears or the like. I'm not saying I'd be opposed to this, but I sorely lack in any. Do any of you own a weaponry of any kind, fake or otherwise?
Well, you keep calling it the samurai spear. But it's not real. You can't really fight with someone with it. Because it's hollow on the inside. You could hit it against practically anything and it would bend.
Is that so? Don't tell me you thought it was real. Oh, but don't take it the wrong way. I just think that's part of your personality is cute.
I mean, yes. I had a few wooden swords, but kind of broke them. It's a very boys thing. I've noticed, like, most of the guys that I've been friends with have, like, a boken or something that they have, like, done, like, practice sword fighting with and stuff. I think there is a reason why people are like, you don't know what to get someone, you should get them a sword. Who doesn't want a sword?
I see. Your friendship is truly something special, Miles Edgeworth. Ugh. That's not friendship. It's utterly humiliation.
Spear data has been joined to my organizer. Way to be both sexist and accurate about it. I know. I'm the worst. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't want a sword. I just isn't something. Just because you're right doesn't mean you're correct. It's a little janky when I walk. Anyway, let's look at the ball. The counterpart of the Babali's butterfly is the Albestian flower.
The butterfly and the flower, they're both lovely things. But can we interpret this to mean that Albehast provides honey to Babal? Francisca, can't you come up with a more meaningful and profound comment? Very well. Then let's hear what sort of profound comment you can come up with. Well, flowers cannot survive without the butterflies that spread their pollen. And the butterflies cannot live without the nectar that the flowers provide. If either one were to disappear from the equation, neither would survive. How was that, Miss Von Karma? Your explanation took so long that I nearly fell asleep. Well, let's continue the investigation. Francisca, why can't you just admit I had something there?
Okay, so they're not going to let us actually look at the statue, but let's poke at it.
There was exact same statue sitting in the Babali's office we examined. It's a prima duck statue. It was the national treasure of the Principality of Cordopia. There was only one of these statues, meaning that one of the two is a replica. But both Albehest and Babal can claim to have the real thing. What an incredibly childish fight to have. Both countries claim to own the real one. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. It's the prima duck statue. There was only one of these on the Babal's side. Here it's very valuable and made of pure gold. It was a national treasure of Cordopia. There was only one of them in the statue, meaning that one of the two is a replica. But both Albehest and Babal's claim to have the real thing and won't budge from their claim. What an incredibly childish fight to have. Okay. That was basically the same dialogue, but a little different. There was almost an exact same wall mount to the knives on the Babal's side, but I can't see any details from this distance. The counterpart of the Babali's butterfly is the Albehest flower. Butterfly and the flower, they're both lovely things. Can we interpret this to mean that Albehest provides... Okay, this is exactly the same thing we had before. Okay. Okay, but is the weapon of choice sword? Or is there a different weapon that speaks to your soul? Like, are you a spearman or woman? Or maybe like an axe or a hatchet. I'm a simple man. Sword. The person shaking hands with the steel samurai in this picture is Ambassador Alba. It was taken just before the murder. The steel samurai must be very popular. They're even using a national treasure as a backdrop. It just don't understand. That's exactly so great, but the top's not there. Clearly there's a depth to the show that a young person like you can't fathom. A bastard sword in particular. That's fair. As a general rule of thumb, probably sword, yeah. Oh no, Edgeworth is gatekeeping. Specific weapons can get bonus points. If I thought I had the arm strength for it, I think I'd be more of a bow person, but you know. I don't have any physical stats anyway, so... Like, I wouldn't put Naginata up there, but Mats Ashendarai? Heck yeah. Fair enough. Aren't young children the target audience of the show of the costumed actors? Look, Francisca, you just wouldn't understand, okay? There was a grandfather clock just like this one earlier in the Babali's embassy. You know, symmetry is a fine thing, but their interior design really suffers for it. Really, I was thinking the clock actually fits the decor of this room quite well. I suppose the wood does suit the all-natural atmosphere of this room. Its design and the material is made of strikes a good balance with the plants. Hey, you two! It's not time to be talking about interior decorating, you know? Hurry up and save me! Be quiet! This is all part of my elite investigation. All you need to do is be quiet and watch. Actually, I do believe Larry has a point for once. They're action figures. You're done with your dolls. Okay, what's going on over here? Two gorgeous flowers are in full bloom here. I'm sure the flowers as lovely as these must have an equally lovely name. Most Edgeworth, are you done staring? I should hardly think passion flowers are all that rare. Passion flowers? I should give them to my boyfriend. That's a rather unusual name. It was a name by a priest in the 15th century for the Passion of Christ. As they say, you learn something new every day. 2 large passion flowers. It's a fireplace. By all the looks of it, I don't think it's been used very recently. Yes, I can't say that I see anything unusual about it. Okay, what about the desk? This must be Ambassador Alba's desk. His notebook is open on his desk. He mustn't be in the middle of some important work. Sapling growth log. It finally sprouted today. Funny, it doesn't look important work to me. Well, okay then. So I think what we have left is talking to people and looking at the body. So let's look at the body first. So, this is the victim, Damask 2. What is with this gaudy outfit? You don't know about Mass Damask? A few months ago, this thief caused a lot of havoc on the populace. So, this thief is separate from the Yatagrasu. I thought we were for a while because their MOs and targets were different. Damask likes high-value trinkets and jewels, and being gaudy is his signature. Gumshoe is in charge of that investigation, so he'd know more about Damask. That's alright. I'd probably hear about the tales of his failure anyway. You haven't changed a bit, I see. In any case, let's get started here, shall we? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious nook and cranny. Okay, well, we got a sword here. With the pixelated blood on it. So, this is the murder weapon in the case. There's blood on the blade. It's rather a sweeping sword, isn't it? What did you expect? The Steel Samurai is Daddy's... It's Steel Samurai Daddy's second weapon? Edgeworth, never say Steel Samurai Daddy, please. Ever. I only call it his secondary because, although he uses his sword in most of his battles, it's his trusty samurai spear that he turns to in a real fight. You should know quite a lot about the Steel Samurai. That's only because I saw the stage show earlier. The owner of the sword is the Steel Samurai, or in other words, Larry. At least don't say it outside the bedroom. I should probably ask him about it, as detrimental as it is to proving him innocent. What you do with Phoenix behind closed doors is your business. There's not a single shred of fashion sense in Damask's costume. Well, at least I can appreciate the great effort he must have put into making it. You two don't know, you can buy this costume at almost anywhere now. It's being sold? Since when? Since around New Year's. The streets are practically flooded with them. Turns out Damask is a lot more popular than I thought he'd be. I can't believe what a foolish fool would dress in fool's clothing and act foolishly. We got your point about the three foolish is back, Francisca. What's in your hand, sir? What is he holding? It looks like a piece of paper from a notepad. It would appear that the directions on how to reach the room were written by hand. Albahest Prima Duck statue, 5th floor, ambassador's office. There is something written on the back as well. I'd like you to steal the Prima Duck statue in this room. What is that supposed to mean? Who writes not to themselves like that? If I had to guess from the text, I would say that this is actually a request from someone about what to steal. But just who was the person that requested the theft of the Prima Duck statue? Alright. I think... Is that all the... Oh, the wound. I thought Damask had quit the business. This guy, he's just a copycat using the name. A phony successor. He's just another petty thief. His real identity is an out-of-work guy by the name of Kashinu. He's 29 and wanted on larceny charges. From his clothes and what he was carrying, we determined that this guy is the real Damask too. The cause of death appears to be loss of blood from the back of his head. It seems that he was struck by something very hard. In other words, he was bludgeoned to death. Okay, is there anything else? This cloth. I suppose this was wrapping the cloth that Damask too was carrying his stolen goods. But there's nothing wrapped in it now. I guess he never did manage to get his hands on whatever he was out to steal. Okay, I think that's everything there. Okay, so now we just gotta talk to people. So we already talked to Bad. This guy doesn't have things, I assume.
No matter how hard you try, you'll never be a necessity to our Shifu's investigation.
Is that a fact? No matter how good he is bound to overlook something.
If you insult our Shifu, then be prepared to be punished.
Oh, and how exactly would you punish us?
Every investigator under Shifu's command will work to disrupt your investigation.
Vindictive much.
did some investigating over in Babali's Embassy too, right?
I did. Is there a problem?
Like she says, wolf who aims to hunt for 2 rabbits at once.
I believe the idiom you require is, he who runs after 2 hares will catch neither.
Heh, real wolf can catch both.
I see. So what you're trying to say, seeing as how I am currently handling 2 cases?
Suit yourself, but don't say I didn't warn you. Alright, Larry, how are you gonna dig your hole deeper?
Larry, there is a few things I need to ask you about.
Hey, how about that? I got a few things I gotta ask you too. What is it? It's like both you and him. How is it that you two always manage to have some cute hot girl by your side? Oh, Larry, you could not handle Francisca. Larry can't handle most women anyways, but definitely not Francisca. And Franny, what about that promise you made to me?
Promise? That's promise.
The one where you said you would model for my next book, Francie's Whippity Whip Trip. Yo! I've made no such promise.
Ever since grade school, we've had a certain saying about Larry. When something smells, it's usually the butts. One needs to look no further than this man to find the king of troublemakers.
Alright, tell me your shit, Larry.
As I recall, aren't you calling yourself Lawrence Dunim now?
Oh, was that like his name that he took on when he became an artist in the last game? Because I think that's what Larry's job ends up being by the end of Trials and Tribulations, is he takes up art. Yep. That's Dixnim. Lawrence Dixnim. Get that straight in your head, Edgy. Oh!
No, I remember. You are that rude, pale imitation of a real artist.
No, you got it all wrong. I gave up on that whole Laureus business. Besides, when Banjolina left me in my heart in pieces. Banjolina. It's how he helps in the 3rd game. Oh yeah, I kind of remember that. That's when Minty walked into my life. She's been good to me, so I wanted to help her in some way. And I figured I could through this steel samurai outfit.
Your inane blathering makes less and less sense every time we meet. I believe he's saying that he picked up this part-time job as a steel samurai so that he may attempt to capture the heart of the actress who plays the pink princess.
You got it.
Oh, Larry.
Larry. Question. Does Larry deserve this fate or not? Oh god, it's him, the prophesied one. Hey, Dottie. You got it. I knew you'd know what I meant, Edgy.
Not really. It's not so much as I understood, but a simple deduction based on your usual modus operandi, Larry.
Yes. Never try to impress a pink princess. Bad things happen. Oh, poor Gallant.
Larry, I'd like you to confess right now to everything you did tonight.
I had a good feeling about tuning in tonight. Confess! Hey, don't tell me you suspect me too!
Nonsense. I don't believe that you have a mental acuity needed to plan and execute a murder.
Edgeworth thinks you're stupid, Larry, but you know. However, we are talking about you here, so I find it hard to believe that nothing happened. Invested everything, including ruining my fandom. For past experience has taught me that you are always at the center of some insane event.
Edgy, how can you be so mean? Stabbing me with your words like that.
Unfortunately, I don't have time to search out a key to unlock your heart this time. So I suggest that you cooperate with and tell me what you know. Oh my goodness, is Edgeworth the... So, oh man, I don't remember the third game that well. Does Edgeworth hang out with a fae and has to do the whole psych lock thing with them to unlock Larry's testimony? Does that happen? Like if Larry wanted to murder someone, he would impale them on his hair like a majestic rhino. Larry borrows the megaton.
Okay, I get it. Just stop Francie from whipping me from behind. So, I guess you know what I did, right, Edgy?
I can't even begin to imagine. However, I imagine that whatever you were up to was probably beyond my imagination. Edgeworth does. So, you will tell me exactly what you did, Larry.
Nope, not yet, Edgy. It'll take more than that to loosen my lips.
A lot more!
Confess. Now.
Oh. Okay, well, I was up on the roof.
And why exactly were you up there?
Oh, you know, that wintry custom and the legendary hero.
Is the legendary hero Santa Claus, Larry? Clearly this is the perfect Christmas case. Legendary hero?
Santa Claus!
Santa Claus?
I wanted to do that thing he does, so I climbed up to one of the chimneys.
But when I got there, there was smoke pouring out of the chimney.
And?
Well, I couldn't go down the chimney with the smoke coming out, right? So I gave up.
Larry, you do realize that Santa Claus does not exist, right? No, the legendary hero Mistborn Santa. Jeez, of course. How dare you, Edgeworth?
Of course I know. I did graduate from junior high, you know.
Then you should also understand this. If Santa was real, he would be the biggest unlawful trespasser in history. Edgeworth, why are you ruining Christmas?
Ugh, crud!
It's your attempt to imitate Santa that has landed you as a prime suspect in this murder.
Come on, man. What's so wrong with pretending to be Santa?
Edgeworth has no Christmas spirit. Man, Francisca is such a mean character. What purpose does she serve in the story? Several butt lashings later. Truly a linchpin of the series. A masterstroke of writing, honestly. Let's start with the fact that it will be Ides of March in a matter of hours. Santa only visits homes on December 24th. That's in December, you nitwit.
No!
Hey, wait a second. You're not in court.
Murder weapon. Larry, about the samurai sword that was used for murder weapon.
Oh, that? Well, I shook hands with the ambassador in this room, you know.
Yes, apparently you did.
And, well, I totally forgot about it and left it behind when I left afterwards. You want to talk about shock? I was the most shocked of all when I heard that it killed someone. Shocked! Foolish fool looking, especially foolish for foolishly stating such a foolish excuse. You forgot to take something that big with you. Who would believe such a tale?
Hold it!
Sorry, Miss Von Karma, but I believe him. Because if anyone could forget something like that, it would be Larry.
Edgy, you believe me!
I just knew that our friendship was something special! Anyway, even if Larry had simply forgotten the sword and left it behind, that in no way clears his name. Which means I have to prove his innocence from a different angle.
Okay, well... I think it's logic time. I'm gonna take like a 5-second break. I just need to like chill my throat for a moment. I will be right back before we logic out this case.
I am back. I can't tell if I am coming down with something from, like, you know, con crud or whatever, or if my throat is just sore from, you know, reading nonstop, so. I guess time will tell. No, it's fine. Alright. Okay, well, is there anything else I haven't looked at? No, so at this point I just have to present shit to Larry. I'm pretty sure.
Hey, that's an official Steel Samurai weapon. Huh? What? You want me to do what? You want me to do it? Oh, you have no idea how many fans ask me that. What are you prattling on about now? Steel Samurai Sushi Slash! How was that? I bet it sent shivers up your spine.
I let myself get caught up in being a spectator. How could I have failed myself? Oh, Edgeworth.
Oh, hey, it's the Steel Samurai.
I want you to answer this for me, Larry, and depending on your answer, I may let you live. The Steel Samurai that went up on the stage, was that really you?
Yep, sure was.
Larry! You!
Steel Samurai Sushi Slash!
I was moved by the performance of this man! This is completely useless, worthless bum. I fear I may never recover from this. Oh, Edgeworth. Wait. Maybe if we just look at the evidence. Oh, not Francisca, that's not what I meant to. It's my badge. Oh. There's a striking flower ornament on the handle of this knife. Compared to the Boboli's knife handle, this larger one gives the Albahest more presence. But it's missing a piece. The handle of this knife was made to be removable. The killer tried to make it look like a Boboli's knife by switching the two handles, which means that there must be some reason behind the action. Alright, welcome back. What kind of sandwich you get, Donnie? A knife handle with a butterfly on it. I wonder if there's a blade that should be attached to it. Potentially. Fancy. Okay, we can't actually look at it closely. And that just does the zoom in. Okay. Actually, let's go. I feel like I need to present him with things. Maybe if I present him with this knife, he might be able to tell me something about this. Don't give a hoot about the things that aren't related to the Yatagarasu. My usual ham, cheese, Miracle Whip, potato chips, and habanero sauce. I mean, I do like me some ham and cheese, so I get that. Toying with Francisca. I see. So he clutched this note as he went about his business. He was a poor excuse for a criminal. On top of which, he was only following in someone else's footsteps. What a small fry. I've been detective for a long time. I can see straight through these people. He really has a different air about him. Not now, if only Gumshoe could understand that. Be more like Detective Bad. He's just gonna say I don't know anything about this. Okay. Maybe the weapon? No. Daughter Von Karma, you're still just a sapling. Okay, maybe you aren't who I present this to. Am I missing something? Because I have nothing to logic, because I'm missing... Like, obviously he claims he went down the chimney here, but we know that this chimney was never lit. But the one he went down was lit, so he didn't go down this chimney. But I don't... I think I'm missing... Is there something I haven't... Oh, what is this? There's a jacket of plants here as well. This room is overflowing with nature. Humans used to live in a grounded nature once, long ago. I believe I am not mistaken in thinking that these people truly loved nature. This coming from a man who loves a show featuring costume actors. She just had to go there, didn't she? Okay. I have looked at all of these things. You're all looked at. Okay, it's just I have to present something to someone. Maybe if I show him the Yatagarasu knife? Detective Bad, this is something you absolutely need to see. Oh, what is it doing here? I've been looking for that for 7 long years. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine this turn of events. Is it just refusing to let you acknowledge the missing petal on the knife pommel? It didn't let me poke at it, even though I looked at it, I'm like, that's missing. Where did that go? Without a doubt, this means that the she is involved. That you woman. That woman! Okay. Maybe the fact that it's Cochin's body? I wonder if you might take a look at this, Detective Bad. Yeah, I heard Cochin's dead. What a waste. He's staring at the mirror, his eyes unfocused, his jaw clenched tight. Okay. He doesn't care about that. That's the smuggling. Okay, maybe it is Larry I have to present something to. Okay. What do we got in here? What a wrong way to die. Okay, we showed him the sword. I don't think he knows anything about this. No. We showed him the picture. We sold him the sword. We talked about the spear. Well, clearly, Francisca has knocked him out, so we're done here. What about the Prima Ducks statue? I was wondering if you might know what this is. Nope, not a clue. Okay. Okay. I don't know, man. Okay. Look at this bloody knife. No. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what to do here. What am I missing? Am I just being dumb? Like, I've already checked this. Clearly missing something. Wait. Deduce? Okay, but you had a check mark. I thought that meant I was done looking at this thing. Okay, what am I deducing? Okay, that's the other one. The statue? Okay, I'm looking at the stat. I mean, that makes sense. What am I deducing it with? That's the Babal one. That's the Prima Ducks one. Oh, it's the position that the statue's in. Because the dude was facing the door in this photo. But he's facing towards the camera in... Okay. Okay. Okay, game, sure. I don't remember. I guess just to say it turned at some point. Look at the photo and tell me what you find odd about the scene, Miss Von Karma. That apparent joy at the ambassador's face as he shakes that top hat's not's hand. That's not it. I was trying to point out the statue in the photo is facing a different way. Look at this photograph. You're right. You're right. The statue is a national treasure. As such, only the ambassador or secretariat level person is allowed to handle it. The fact that the statue is facing one way in this photo, and now it's facing a different direction in this preserved crime scene, is proof that someone touched the statue around the time of the crime. Da-da-da-da! I guess it's about... Okay, that was the last thing, thank God. Wraps up my investigation. That's... Oh no. I'm not ready. Okay, drink some water first, Katie.
Yo, Pig Princess, how you feeling? Still feeling ill?
Look, they already gave us Larry. Surely. Surely's just a good god. Truly a trusting good god. And yet another strange character comes out of the woodwork. And so the Pink Princess also comes to pay the Albacian embassy a visit. I believe I may need to speak with her as well. Run away! Don't do it, Edgeworth! Don't do it! Pink Princess, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. Pink Princess, if you would please... me!
This must be what they call fate.
How could this happen 2 days in a row? What the? Aren't you Miss Oldbag? Why are you surprised?
So you're the one who got to play the Steel Samurai. It's too bad I didn't realize that until now.
You are acquaintances with Larry.
Why, yes, he worked in the same company for a little while, you know. That's why it's okay, my edgy poo. You don't need to be jealous. It was in the next room, you know, trying to get in some beauty sleep. But it was so noisy here that I couldn't fall asleep, so I came over to complain. So imagine my shock when I saw my precious edgy poo waiting here for me. I mean, who could have imagined that you would ever come to a show like this? I guess I misjudged you, edgy poo.
You misjudged him?
I thought he was trying to avoid me, you know?
That was no misjudgment on your part. That's precisely what I was trying to do.
But it looks like the winds have shifted and he's now willing to be chased after all. I'm simply overwhelmed. Don't you worry, Edgy Poo. I chase you forever, to the ends of the earth.
Isn't it just peachy? This is one of those rare times when Francisca and I actually see eye to eye. Nothing brings people together like banding against Wendy Oldbag. Her voice is murder. Why do I do this to myself? I should just read everything in a monotone voice. Pink Princess. Now then, what are you doing here? I thought you were working at the Gatewater Land as a pink badger.
What are you talking about? That was ages ago.
That was yesterday.
Look, I worked at Global Studios before a long time ago, right? Well, they called me up this morning, kinda out of the blue, actually.
They called you?
Apparently, the girl who plays the Pink Princess collapsed from a bad cold. It happened so suddenly, they called me in to be her last-minute replacement.
Why would your only choice be Oldbag? Do they not have enough people on staff at that studio?
I really couldn't say no, so here I am playing the role of the heroine. Instead of that Mindy girl, I mean. But the poor girl, I feel bad for her. Because they let me stand in for her, she's going to have a terrible time returning. I mean, it's not exactly that great of reading, and... Yes, let me stand in for her. She's going to have a terrible time to return. I mean, she's not exactly great at reading the strange font they use. Plus, I was called in to be a stand-in at the very last second. So I tripped over almost all the important lines, and I threw a ragdoll instead of a shuriken and hit the samurai instead of the enemy, and the audience was in an uproar. But as an avant-garde actress, they'll forgive me. Because, I tell you, they're really just a bunch of simpletons.
His 3-button go brr, yeah. You're rather lively, old lady. This is why all these games need one of these. Just for Oldbag's dialogue. So basically, you received the stand-in request this morning, correct?
You got it. If you need to see it, I've got it right here, you look.
It appears that she is telling the truth. Stand-in request.
I tell you, I'm fine acting moved the entire audience to tears.
Yes, tears of laughter, as I recall.
My being famous has its problems too, you know. Here, take a look at this. It's a letter from a stalker. I was just taking my break when I felt it stuck to the door of my room.
Wendy. Yes, it's totally Wendy.
I'll be descending on you from above tonight, your lovely night. Honestly, you really have to watch out for these kinds of things. Look at what it says.
God damn it, Larry. I like how she puts an accent on the E, like that's actually what it says.
How absolutely revolting. I mean, you'd think that he could get my name right. There is no accent in my name.
Wait, that's horrible handwriting. Where have I seen this before?
But here you are, Edgy Poo. I feel 100% safe.
Where do I factor into this?
You'd bust that evil stalker man for my sake, wouldn't you, Edgy Poo?
Well, if you allow me the liberty to handle this in my own way, I'll be gladly dispatch a detective to your house later.
Oh, come on, Edgy Poo. Stop being so dismissive and playing hard to get.
Time of the murder. What were you doing at the time of the crime?
What crime?
What?
After the show was over, I had nothing but free time on my hands. Oh, I used the fireplace in the room next door to keep my bad hip warm.
Ah. Well, a murder occurred in the room right next door to yours.
Is that right? Oh, Edgy Poo, I'm so scared. Hold me, caress me.
If you could please not cling to my personage. In that case, I take it then you failed to show up at the Ambassador Alba's speech.
Oh, Dad, no, I didn't go. I mean, I may have the heart of a young, tender maiden. But my body just refuses to cooperate at times. As soon as the show ended, my hips started acting up and got stiff, and I couldn't move at all.
Can you provide proof of your condition?
Oh, you just go ahead and ask the doctor in the infirmary. They're the ones who carried me from the theater all the way to this embassy.
I have to admit, the thought of her not being able to leave that room is rather pleasant. Larry's already dated models, allegedly. I guess he's trying to expand his horizons. Look at that cutie! I want one! Prosecutor Von Karma, I brought the police dog as you requested, sir. Get back. You may not leave, officer. This dog. I requested assistance from the dog search for the Yatakarasu. Looks like you guys have a pretty bright dogs in this country, too. Woof woof. Hey, you're a real cutie, aren't you? Yeah, that's a good boy. It's Missile! Yeah, Missile! That's the police dog Gumshoe's been taken care of. Yes, Missile's a good boy. I think his name is Missile. What a fitting name for a police dog that dashes out in front of an and attacks. But actions alone isn't exactly what's going to solve this case for us, you know. The goodest boy. Now, Missile, I want you to find some clues. Go! Woof! Into the fireplace. Look at his little butt. Good dog. You very are quite bright, aren't you? Unlike a certain someone I know. Now, what do we have here? What is this? It looks like a small hot dog, but... wait. Francisca, isn't that an official samurai dog? Grr, 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 grr. Ugh, no, bad Missile. He ate it. I wonder if it's alright for him to eat that. Oh no. It's just a meat substance snack featuring Steel Samurai. I'm sure he'll be fine. The phrase meat substance snack is disconcerting. The missile knows where it is. That's because it knows where it isn't by subtracting where it's from where it was. That's quite a bit of information you gathered here, there in a single quick glance. We should really be focusing on why there was a samurai dog there in the first place. It looks like the snack wasn't all missile found. Oh, what do we have here? It appears to be a lady's undershirt. I wonder if Ambassador Alba might have an interest in cross-dressing. I somehow doubt that. It doesn't look like a shirt would even fit him. Meat substance is pretty accurate to 90% of hot dogs, though. Yeah. Do you prefer organ tube consumable? Infinitely not, Captain. Please remove that sentence from my eyeballs now. What are those two items doing in a room like this? Given the circumstances, the lady in undershirt could only belong to one person. I suppose I should get this over with and ask the owner of said undershirt. Undershirt about it. Oh no. We have the undershirt of a lady. We're talking about leftover pork cylinders? No. Nothing more dystopian than meat substance as food source. The McRib is a sign of the apocalypse. We have more things here yet. Some of these can connect. Yeah. There is no trace of this room's fireplace being used. And your point is? The smoke was supposedly pouring out of the chimney connected to the fireplace. At least according to Larry. This is a contradiction of the facts, is it not? Are you sure he wasn't just disoriented and something on the roof? There is a testimony from an investigator that puts Larry at a particular chimney. So no, I don't think it was a mistaken impression on Larry's part. On the other hand, the fireplace in the next room was being used at the time. Where do you suppose the smoke from that fireplace went? Ah, I see. So what you're proposing is, the smoke that came out of the chimney was actually from Miss Olbeck's fire. So basically the fireplace's neighboring rooms share one chimney. Is that what you're implying? Precisely. A shared chimney. Alright, anyway, gold bag, I got something to show you. Hey lady, is this yours? Why is it in the fireplace, please? If you could please take a look at this brown-colored undershirt.
Oh, Edgy Poo, what is the meaning of this? Why did you steal that thing from my bags? All you had to do was ask and I would have gladly given you as many as you'd like.
Thanks, but no thanks. This shirt was found here at the crime scene.
What?
Come on now, why don't you just confess? Explain what it's doing here.
I know nothing. Nothing, I tell you.
What?
I admit that I used the fireplace to dry that shirt. But I can't really help the fact that I had it to, you know. Wearing the Pink Princess costume is like being in a sauna. And on top of that, I get fingered as a suspect. You're too cruel, Edgy Poo.
Are you claiming that you never once set foot inside this room?
Of course I am. If I had been the one to find the body, do you think I'd be as calm and relaxed as I am? I tell you what, it's always like this. It's always like this.
Since this came up on Chris's stream, how do people make their chili dogs? I can't say I've had much chili dogs, if any. I struggle to think of a time I've had a chili dog.
I tell you, it's always like this. It's always my fault if for some reason or another that weekly tabloid article that's missing, the camera that's missing, that lawyers always make sure it's my fault. They're missing. Speaking of missing, there's the matter of my husband. Can you believe that when we got married, he said, I guess I'm stuck marrying you? What kind of proposal is that? What should he should have done is she should have whispered in my ear, I don't deserve you, but I can't help it. Will you marry me? Honestly, men these days.
Oh, that murdered my voice. Why did I do that? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, re, do. The tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. Wendy's canonical husband took a bullet for an entire gender. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Well, I don't believe she's lying about her actions. So I can safely assume that she's really was drying her shirt by the fireplace on a break. And somehow the undershirt managed to move from the next room to this one. I assume the samurai dog was also yours?
That brilliant mind of yours, you really can see through everything about me.
And so the feeling of dread continues. But I suppose I should ask for more detail. The samurai dog was yours, wasn't it?
Oh, of course, and forever yours, my edgy wedgy boo.
If you could just stick to what I asked you.
Edgy, are you and Miss Oldbag? No! You really don't change, do you? When will you learn how to take a joke? Anyway, the samurai dog wasn't mine. Those things are present from the studio to the embassy.
A present?
The studio bigwigs basically told us to play the delivery boys. We were supposed to hand the dogs off to the embassy people and tell them hi. I had a pile of them in my pushcart just to move them all. Those studio guys should have delivered those things by themselves, right, Edgy?
So did you deliver the samurai dogs to the embassy staff, as per your instructions?
Hey, Edgy, don't just ignore my question. Aren't you gonna stick up for me?
Ideally grilled weenies that are marinated in Italian dressing. Wolf brand chili in a pot. Fresh chopped onions, shredded cheese. No condiments. The marinade and the chili is enough. I mean, that sounds lovely.
About that. See, after the show, I went to rest a spell in the dressing room. Because of my bad hip, you know. And there they were. The samurai dogs were just sitting on the dressing room floor.
I suppose you had to make preparations for distributing them after the show.
Well, if by preparations you mean sampling them as well.
Excuse me?
Oh, I tried one and I thought they were actually quite good. Sorry, but I just had to find out. I know it was silly of me to think this, but I figured that since they were for kids' show, their taste was probably for kids too. But they were so good, I just couldn't stop. Before I went back to my room, I just had to help myself to half a dozen or so boxes.
Lady. I marinate the bejesus out of pretty much anything.
As I sat there by the roaring fire, warming them and eating them, I thought, this is... What is it now? Oh, I know. I bet you wanted a box too. Don't you, my edgy poo? Well, who am I to say no to you? But I'll only give you one. The rest are all for me.
Present for the embassy staff. Miss Oldbag took and ate a few from the dressing room. Looks like a lesson for today is that when the studio samurai and the speaking princess take off their masks, they transform into a pair of annoying troublemakers. That's fair. Logic. Alright, let's connect these two things. They share a chimney, that's why this happened. Boom! The lady's undershirt that Missile found.
Why are you getting so excited over holding that lady's undergarment? Miles Edgeworth, you uncouth sea slug! If you know the owner of the said undershirt, then hurry up and return it to her already. You have it all wrong. This is evidence. And the owner of this piece of evidence was in the room next door. And yet, despite that, Missile found it in the fireplace of this room. This lady's undershirt. Are you seriously claiming that it somehow passed through the solid brick wall? Not quite. The fireplace in this room is connected to a chimney. The other fireplace in the other room is also connected to the same chimney, leading us to the possibility that the two fireplaces are connected to each other. Perhaps a closer look at the back of the fireplace is in order. There's an X on the back wall of the fireplace. Let's see if I can't get a better look at it. Oh, it opens! What in the... The wall separating this room's fireplace from the next room's fireplace apparently turns. As I suspected, the fireplace does indeed connect to this room, to the neighboring room. The neighboring room. There appears to be nothing particular about the next room. But the fact that there is nothing special about the next room isn't what is important. It's the fact that there is a secret passage through this room's fireplace. We now know that the fireplace connects the two rooms. But how exactly is that significant? You aren't going to suddenly name the old lady as the Damask 2's killer, now are you? No, she couldn't move at all because of a stiff hip. So she could not have been the one. Unfortunately, I believe that this fireplace has nothing whatsoever to do with Damask 2's murder. Complete! Hey, it healed my HP. It would appear that the answer has made itself known. You're making quite a confident face there, Mr. Prosecutor. Bring it on. I'm ready to counter any argument you may have. Very well. Then if you're prepared, I'll show you exactly where my deductions have led me. Good. I'm counting on you, Edgy. Leave it to me, Larry. My first attack will be to expose your lie for what it really is. My lie? Oh, dude. I know that there are still some things that you're keeping from the rest of us. What's wrong with you? Why is it that you won't believe me no matter what I say, Edgy? She's guilty enough to be locked away for at least one trilogy. I mean, are we sure it wasn't Old Bag? What if we just falsely imprison her until she dies of old age? I don't know, I feel like Wendy Oldbag is like eternal, so... I'll confess to every murder in the whole world, and then kill myself, and throw everything into mass confusion. Hey, you made some wonderful friends as a child, I see. Larry, I only have one thing to say to you. Even if you make that face at me, it's no use. A man who's ready to die is strong-willed, you know. Larry, it doesn't matter what sort of harebrained trouble you've caused. I only ask that you do not lie to me. If you cause an innocent person to be judged unfairly because of some insipid lie, I will never forgive you. Edgy! Although, allow me to say that I consider you to be among the innocent in this case, and that I will draw the real killer out. You can trust me on this. Alright, this time I'll tell the whole truth, okay? What happened, what didn't happen, the works. Just what happened will do. Now then, if you would please testify as to what you did up on the roof tonight. Larry, no. Okay. Up on the rooftop. After the show, I left the pushcart in the rose garden and came up into the embassy. Then they took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador. After that, until my next appearance, I had some free time, so I wandered around. That's when I spotted the chimney. A chimney like that rare thing, you know. So then I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try.
Larry, I thought I just finished telling you not to lie anymore.
But it's kinda ultra embarrassing.
What exactly is so ultra embarrassing that you can't tell me?
Edgy, man. I just said it's embarrassing, so of course I can't blurt it out.
Actually, Larry, I lied. This is for stealing my lunch money. Go to jail!
So you're gonna have to reason it out of me.
As your superior, I command you to hurry up.
And expose this man's lie.
My very intention to, for I'm not about to let us waste time on such a trifling matter. Okay. Push cart.
Hold it!
You left the push cart. Could you please clarify that statement for me?
Yeah, the wheels on the pushcart got covered in dirt in the rose garden. Would have made a mess on the floor inside. The Ambassador Albus said just to leave it.
Well, it would be rather impolite to dirty another country's embassy.
Coming to think of it, I recall seeing the Pink Princess on my way to the embassy.
And what was she doing?
Nothing in particular, because she was being carried by some docs on a stretcher.
She must have been incapacitated by the pain in her bad hip she suffered during the show.
So I came to the embassy, right? And then he took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador.
Hold it!
So you shook
hands with the ambassador of the Kingdom of Albus, did you?
Yeah, can you believe it? I did something really cool for a change. But honestly speaking, there's nothing interesting about shaking some guy's hand.
Hey there, are you disrespecting another countries in their very own embassy?
As someone with roots in this country, I'm feeling nothing but incredible shame at this second.
Agreed. I apologize for his inconsiderate words. Now, Larry, please continue.
What's with all this? You keep saying that kind of thing, and I'll tell you only lies.
You're already telling us nothing but lies. So let's go and move on.
All right. You don't need to glare at me like that, Edgy.
An experience at free time. Larry, I want you to listen very carefully and take this to heart. The whole point of life is to cause misery and pain to everyone you encounter.
I know, I get it. I'm totally a bad guy again.
I thought you were his friend. What do you think, that was a bit harsh? Like G says, true friends aren't our bosom friends. If you're in trouble, call your bosom friend, whose shoulder you can cry on.
Hey, bosom buddy, I hope you're listening carefully to my testimony.
Has it crossed your pea-sized brain yet that Agent Lang is only out to arrest you, Larry?
Now that you were wandering around inside the embassy, then what happened?
Spotted the chimney.
Hold it!
I should hardly think that chimneys are that rare. Agreed, especially since they are traditionally featured on American houses.
Plus, many grand buildings have even larger and fancier chimneys. Yeah, but the kind of chimney I'm talking about is the real romantic type.
A romantic chimney?
It might sound kind of silly, but women seem to really enjoy them. And I just had a good feeling about that chimney. And I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try.
Hold it!
Jeez, what is this? Anne of Green Gables?
You suddenly wanted to play Santa.
Oh, well, actually, I dressed up as Santa once before already.
That was down at Gourd Lake. Oh, I forgot about that part. That was on Christmas. Or almost Christmas.
Ugh. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't dredge up such unnecessary memories for me.
Sounds like you guys share a lot of history.
A
perk of being childhood friends, huh? Besides, it's not a felony to dress up and play Santa, you know. Santa doesn't go around killing people after he comes down the family chimney, after all. Actually, is it worth delving into whether or not playing Santa's a big deal? Yeah, of course, it's a big deal. Actually, I believe that in this case, the man playing Santa is actually quite a big deal. Are you saying that your buddy isn't exactly made of Santa-quality stuff? Precisely. You hit the nail on the head, Agent Lane. Hey, Edgy, that's so incredibly mean! Tell me something, Larry. Did you know that Santa's job is to deliver presents to people all over the world? Of course I know that. I did graduate from junior high, you know. In that case, it's your turn to tell me something. I want you to tell me to whom you were delivering a present to. Well, I was delivering a present to a child, not basking in the warm glow of love. This must be the most elegant description of you I've ever heard, but a lie is still a lie. Imagine a Phoenix Wright playthrough, but you only played the story beats on their actual calendar days. That would be an interesting challenge. You sure ought to kick a guy when he's down, you know what? In any case, the person you wished to deliver a present to was most certainly this. I mean, like, not actually, but yeah.
Take that!
Interesting taste you have there, Mr. Suspect. Don't spread lies about me! I totally didn't want to see Miss Oldbag so much that I'd try to go down a chimney. Ow! I'd advise you to stop right there in bashing of the lady. Well, I must admit that I myself hardly ever have the want to run into that lady. To be clear, just the first game. However, what if you were misinformed and under the wrong impression? Then what? Define wrong impression. I simply mean that the man before you thought to enter the old lady's room without knowing one very important fact. And the fact is the best summed up with this. The substitute papers, right? Or is it? This thing? Stand-in request? Yeah.
Take that!
There's something the old lady received from the employer for the night. The girl who normally plays the Pink Princess. Mindy, was it again? It seems that this man is quite taken with that actress.
But that's not true, Edgy! She's the one with the hots for me!
I just know it. I can feel her sexy beam piercing my heart when she's watching me. Her sexy beam? Okay, Larry. Sure. Us women, we all got that sexy beam. And we just pierce people's hearts with them. Sexy beam, I tell you! You're filthy, despicable, inconsiderate, fickle, idiotic, cowardly aberration of a man. You haven't matured at all since we've met. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor? Yes. This guy, he's got bigger problems than just getting involved in murders, I take it. Even Lane's like, the female gaze, clearly. A gazer beam, if you will. I suppose you could put it that way. Hey, what the heck, man? I don't get you guys at all. Why don't you... Why do all you make me out to be some sort of bad guy? To return to the original topic, I propose that at least this much has been made clear. Without any knowledge that Miss Mindy had fallen ill, Larry tried to make his way into the Pink Princess's room. That much we know for sure.
Hold it.
Hey, Edgy, looks like I've got a hang of this court thing now. But we're not in court at the moment. Shut up! I see what's going on here. It looks like It looks just like what you do in court. I guess the old boy here is still something he'd like to say. Like Z says, until the root of the baton dries, one never knows the whole truth. You shouldn't form conclusions until everything's out in the open, which is why I'll listen.
All right. Then let's get ready to listen to me defeat Edgy in this battle of wits.
Larry, have you forgotten that, should I lose, your victory prize will be your arrest? That's Larry for you. God damn it, Larry. All right. Larry's assertion.
So you think that all I wanted to do was to go visit Mindy? Well, I dressed up as Santa and I climbed up to the chimney, but the smoke was really thick. It was a case of mistaken identity. That mistake made me late for a speech. And then on top of it all, I became a suspect of murder. That's what you really meant. But why would I ever put myself through so much humiliation on purpose?
Okay.
Hey, someone say something!
Larry, are you seriously trying to submit this, not as a confession, but as testimony?
So what if I am? Is there something wrong with that? My claim is claiming my claim. Do you have any problem with that? So it was you. You're my stalker. But I should warn you, it doesn't matter what kind of flattery you throw at me. I'm a devoted type of woman who's wholly focused on one man. As long as Edgy Poo is alive, I can't drop him and be unfaithful.
I can't do the rest of this right now.
I'm a devoted type of woman who's wholly focused on one man, and one man only. And as long as Edgy Poo is alive, I can't drop him and be unfaithful. No, I can't. Although earlier I was tempted by just a tiny, whiny bit by that wolfman. But that's just a test of my love for my dear Edgy Poo, which is I passed with flying colors. But from now on, I will stay completely true to my beloved Edgy Poo for the rest of eternity. I swear it.
I'm so inspired. I see, though. Old Bag is into wolves. You heard it here first. You're such an inconsiderate, cowardly, idiotic, and all-around completely worthless man. I thought I heard something ominous just now, but perhaps it was just my imagination. I believe there's nothing further for me to prove at this point.
What do you mean? Of course you're still got something to prove. You still have to show some proof that I was trying to meet up with Mindy.
Proof, you say?
Remember, Edgy, everything is evidence in court, right?
The fact that you clearly dread Old Bag for reasons beyond just her character is hilarious. Everything about Old Bag is dread, okay? That's just the truth. You mean evidence is everything in court, Larry? But I understand your point. I was listening from the other room, so late for saying this. Women have sexy beams. Men have sword replicas. As the school type rhyme goes, haha, callbacks. Old Bake is just dread.
I'm a pro at this now.
Very well. If you wish to see evidence, then let me show you the last piece of evidence you'll ever wish to see. I'm pretty sure I can just present this evidence on this first statement. You think that all I wanted to do was go visit Mindy? Yes, I do, because you have this note that you wrote to go see Mindy. Larry, don't even think about denying that you have knowledge of this letter.
Hey! Why are you showing me that thing?
Vendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight, your loving night. Well, isn't that just romantic? But you weren't able to descend on her from above, were you, Mr. Loving Knight?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't remember a thing.
You can pretend to be ignorant all you like, but it's written right here. This letter proves that you were not out meeting the old lady, but rather that you were attempting to pay a visit to Mindy, or pay Miss Mindy a visit. What part of the letter shows the person Larry intended to go see? Well, look at this dot here. Larry, I suggest you take up penmanship lessons. That is, if you never wish to experience this level of embarrassment ever again.
What the heck? What are you talking about? Speak English!
You wrote Mindy so sloppily that it became Wendy to the average eye.
Hey, stop picking on me!
Oh no.
Hey, stop picking on me! It's so embarrassing!
There. Isn't that what childhood friends are for? They're the best, aren't they? For punching. But that will have to wait until we're off this crime scene.
Edgy, save me from the scary man!
Sure, if you're willing to make amends, starting with your incredibly embarrassing mistake.
That wasn't me!
Oh my god, Larry, come on! Come again?
It's a fake! Someone's out to get me! So they made that fake letter! To set me up!
Accept your defeat graciously.
But you guys are being so mean! Hold it!
I do wonder how this was localized. Was the whole letter redone for the English version? It probably was, I imagine. Maybe in Japanese it's a kanji thing where they're like, these kanjis could mean Wendy or Mindy. Or, well, they're Japanese names because their names aren't Wendy and Mindy in the Japanese version. So I'd be curious how that is actually done in Japanese, though. Penmanship analysis.
What's that?
No matter who, all the people have certain unique features on the handwriting. Ergo, all we have to do is compare the handwriting of this letter to a sample of yours. And we'll know soon enough who it was that sent this letter.
I'll never write another thing in my life!
Hold it!
Sloppy writing is sloppy writing in any language. True. It's no use, Mr. Loving Knight. For you've already graciously provided me with a sample of your handwriting. It's this thing! This autograph and our mysterious letter. If we compare the handwriting, we'll know the answer to our question soon enough. Confess now, Larry, to your miserable failure.
I'm sorry! I did it! It was me causing trouble again! I admit it! You hit the nail right on the head, Edgy!
So he finally confesses.
I saw the pink princess being carried around in the stretcher and got worried, alright? I wanted to go into Minnie's room, but the doctors wouldn't let me in. So what choice did I have? It was the chimney or bust, Edgy!
Your mind jumped from door to chimney. What a criminally overactive imagination.
Well, at least I was honest and wrote Mindy a letter and stuck it inside the door. That way she wouldn't be so shocked when I came down through the chimney.
Except for the fact the letter was an utter failure at conveying said sentiment.
I'm really, really sorry.
Larry, you might be a shameful, good-for-nothing blight on the face of humanity. However, I always knew you weren't a killer. I told you to trust me, because at the very least, I can attest to that about you.
Edgy, you're...
We've lost a lot of valuable time because of you.
Oh!
God damn it, Larry. In any case, I believe we can say that we now know exactly what happened. Mr. Larry Butts sought to climb down the chimney. Not for access to the crime scene, but to enter the room of an elderly lady next door. Great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Although I still find it a bit unbelievable that the two of you are friends. But the suspicion on the guy over there isn't completely resolved yet, so don't go getting any funny ideas about running off, okay?
Hey, what? Edgy, what does that wolfman mean when he says I'm not off the hook yet?
He means that the murder weapon. Larry, did you forget?
There are 2 layers of suspicion hanging over your head. Exactly what I mean. I can only rely on the words of I can't only rely on the words of the suspect, after all. We may have figured out where he was and what he was doing all night. But the blood-stained samurai sword that was left at the crime scene? As long as there's no satisfactory explanation for that. This wolf refused to ease up on his bite.
Edgy, that guy! He looks like he's seriously about to take a bite out of me!
I'm well aware. And you should be as well, that this upcoming battle will be crucial. Thanks to the cooperation of our lovely bumbler, I've been dealt a very nice hand and a sweet trump card. Looks like we're about to enter the final bout. Now, Mr. Prosecutor, let's see what you got. I can easily point out the contradictions in the supposed murder weapon, but the real problem for me is figuring out what the real murder weapon is. This will be a high-stakes gamble, but this is one game I can't afford to lose. Alright. Why Larry? I was the one who found the body of the victim demasked too. Beside him was the samurai sword, glittering red and offering up the scent of blood. It was supposed to be the Steel Samurai's dressing room, but I found it here instead. Plus, I found the murder weapon's owner, the suspect Larry Butts, in here too. That's fine. You might be an absolute blight on this planet and deserve to be thrown into a volcano. And no, that's all. Isn't it a bit far-fetched to accuse someone simply on the basis of ownership? But this owner wanted to sneak onto the crime scene. I think that's plenty to go on, don't you? If you're alluding that his reason for being by the chimney, we've already established that. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. You are long-time friends, right? Who's to say you didn't fabricate the evidence to give him an alibi? You're accusing me of fabricating evidence. You think I can believe anything you produce? Forging evidence is all you prosecutors do. This man has some serious issues with prosecutors. But come on, I can't think of something as complicated as that, right, Edgy? Larry, I can agree because I know you and your personality well. However, Agent Lane knows nothing about you. Or me, for that matter. I sense his hatred for my entire profession emanating from his entire being. Meaning that the only way I can prove Larry's innocence is to present irrefutable evidence. Okay, why Larry? He's the one who found the body. So you were the first to discover the body of this time. This time? What was that supposed to mean? You better watch what you say. I only said this time because earlier Kay was the first to discover the body in Babal. And your secretary, Agent Sheena, was ready to accuse her of murder for that. Heh, so you're gonna use that excuse to call me suspicious now? Of course not. I was simply pointing out the usual pattern with discoveries of bodies. But in Babali's case, there's proof that she was holding the weapon, right? Well, in this one, it's a bit different since we know exactly where the weapon is. Beside him was the samurai sword, glittering with blood, offering the scent. Glittering red, offering the scent of blood. Hold it! Excuse me, but glittering red and offering up a scent of blood? Do I have to spell it out for you? I mean the sight of smell of blood, of course. And according to the test, the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. The sword was made of only to be used on stage, so it's not sharp. But it's pretty weighty. It's certainly heavy enough to beat someone to death with. Which leads me to suspect the victim was beaten to death with a sword. Beaten to death, huh? This last statement is too important to just let it slip by. Oh, okay. Samurai covered in victim's blood. I suspect he beat the victim to death with that thing. Okay. samurai sword. Have you received a report from the forensics yet? It confirmed that the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. Alright, but have they confirmed that the outline of his wound is consistent with the weapon? Tell me something. Do you see a dead body right there in front of you? So, if there is conducting an autopsy right now, shouldn't that body not be here? Well, I suppose so. I guess they must still be investigating this room. Meaning that it's possible he doesn't know about that piece of evidence's true nature. Okay, so we're supposed to, because the staff, or the spear is hollow. The sword is also hollow, and it couldn't have beaten the samurai to death? Is that what we're getting here? I think so. So if I show the spear?
Objection!
Hey. Do you know what this is, Agent Lane? Heh, long spear, right? We used those things in my country a long time ago. Pearson, mowing people down. Spears are a weapon of the heroes throughout ages, history. It's next to the most effective weapon after my whip. I think the whip is a slightly different category. So, what's your point? Are you going to tell me that the spear is a real weapon? No, I simply want you to take a look at this section here. Wait, it's bent. Precisely. Apparently the certain troublemaker hits it against the wall in the embassy earlier. And as you can clearly see, the insides of the steel samurai weapons are hollow. In other words, they're replicas and aren't strong enough to deliver a damaging blow, let alone multiple strikes necessary to bludgeon someone to death. And yet, there is not even a dent in the samurai sword. How do you explain that? Oh yeah, the sword and the spear are made of the same stuff, so they bend easily. Oh god, the age-old weapon debate of functional versus cool. We had this discussion earlier, Donnie. If you had a weapon of choice, what would it be? Swords seem to be the overall popular vote, so... I wish they'd make them out of better stuff, because the spear got bent. I wasn't able to do my special early summer rain jab move. Man, I got such an earful from the director of the play for not doing it in the show. Steel Samurai's special move was changed tonight because of him. Dun dun dun. I missed that. An axe of some kind. A billion YouTubers with ponytails bust through the wall to explain why the spear is superior to the whip. I mean, I think we were mainly talking about like how boys want to own swords and stuff like that, and then it kind of just led to what would like people think is their weapon of choice. What would they want to own or whatever. All right, youch. That's more. It's more than enough of your whiny whimpering. Oh boy, that one was a hard one. Now, back to the topic of the spear. Yes, let us return to the real topic of discussion. This is where the real gamble begins. I don't have a real strategy per se, so all I can do for now is let the chips fall where they may. Using the guesswork, we can take risks and place the real logic hardly the von Karma way. It's neither smart nor very clever. Miss von Karma, as you know, unlike your father, I am not a genius prosecutor. Plus, I doubt that his record of a 40-year win streak will ever be broken. But perhaps it is for the best if it remains unbroken. For no one should be conceived of the notion to convict all defendants in the first place. Look at Edgeworth, he's all word stuff.
Objection!
That's a foolish foolishly foolish statement from a foolishly fool who hates to lose. It's the job of the prosecutor to make sure all defendants are found guilty in court. There's nothing more important in this world than the perfect victory. It started because Larry was playing with the sphere. That may be your opinion. However, I don't believe that's all we are. Oh my god, we said the magic words to Lang. Non-firearms? I mean, if that's your preference, then go for it. But I think we were more talking just like owning like replicas or like a cool sword or, you know, whatever. As a prosecutor, what I pursue is not the perfect victory, but the perfect truth. If that means the bridge must cross will crumble beneath my feet, then let it crumble as I walk towards the truth. You're good at keeping me entertained, Mr. Prosecutor. But you know, humans are delicate creatures. The slightest bump and we expire. I'd like you to consider that, if you will, the possibility that the sword that was used in such a way that the attack killed Damask too, without bending it. So what do you think of my hypothetical situation? I think you know what to do here, right? And what you need. Of course. What I need is evidence even he can't refute. This is it. It's time to bring this to a close. Oh yeah. Oh, my Edgeworth. This case is very, very long. You're not gonna bring it to the close today. Why Larry Part 2? It's possible to use a samurai sword to kill someone. And under those circumstances, it's only logical the conclusion. We searched the embassy top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that weapon. So isn't it only natural that the suspicion would fall onto the owner of said weapon? Melee weapons, I feel like I complete them. Louis softball bat, all wood, but more manageable length for swinging in confined spaces. Fair enough. How long do you intend to cling on to that preposterous theory? As long as I want, because we examined every corner within the walls of this embassy. There's no stone left unturned. And we have managed to come up with only one logical conclusion. That the only place inside the embassy with a victim's blood on it is this sword.
Hold it!
You left no stone unturned. Is that a fact? If you got something to say, let's say it only the way I respect, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, of course. In that case, allow me to make it crystal clear for you. Why Larry Part 2? It's possible to use the samurai sword to kill someone, is it now? May I inquire how you were able to make such a claim, Agent Lang? Lang Z says, capable of miracles beyond comprehension. A mysterious creature is a man. Rather than a man, it's Agent Lang's quotes that are getting increasingly incomprehensible. The human body is a mysterious thing, even with a toy-like sword. It's easy to kill a man if you just hit the right spot. Which is why I think it's possible to kill with this thing without leaving a dent.
Hold it!
But we can only be sure one way or another by seeing if the wound matches the sword. I know that. But as long as it's a possibility, I can proclaim it as much as I like. In none of these circumstances, it's only logical conclusion.
Hold it!
But you must know that your conclusion is wrong. Given the circumstances I'm in, the only person I can trust are my subordinates. Because they're much more trustworthy than a bunch of prosecutors will ever be.
Hold it!
And you call yourself a professional? You still don't see, do you, prosecutor? You have to earn my trust. And the only way to do that is to show me proof of another possible murder weapon. Another possible weapon? In this room, there's only one other thing. This is going to be a gamble, but I can't withdraw from the game now. You're not gonna get me to trust you by the power of your glare alone, you know? Plus, I have other reasons as to why I think the samurai sword is the murder weapon.
Search the embassy top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that weapon. Okay.
Hold it.
The only place where you could find blood was on the samurai sword. That's right, even with luminol. Which means that there is only no other possibilities outside of what I've already outlined. Do I have a problem with Agent Lane's assertion that the samurai sword is the weapon? Of course I do. If you believe that there is no other door of possibility left open, then allow me to force one open for you. I want nothing. I have the ultimate dream weapon. Firearms are like an HK Mark 23 Soka pistol. Grip's a bit beefy, but a handgun is practically indestructible. Fair enough. By showing what you may possibly be the real murder weapon. The real murder weapon. I hate to repeat myself, but my men have already searched every last inch of this embassy, and they've concluded there's nothing else that could have been used as a weapon. Knowing these facts, do you still want to press forward with your little hypothesis? Of course. Because it is not possible that your men inspected everything in their investigation. What are you talking about? I don't appreciate mind games, and I don't appreciate it when people like you slander my men.
Hold it.
I'm not slandering them, I assure you. I'm merely pointing out that the investigative dragnet has a few holes in it. Namely, that there is something that your men couldn't even lay a finger on. And that item is the real murder weapon. Alright then, I'll play along for now. This real weapon that killed Damask too. What exactly is it? The real murder weapon, which is not a single person is yet to touch, is this. We want to make sure it's the Albahest one, right? Yeah, this one, because you didn't touch it. The national treasure of Albahest. You mean the Prima Duck statue? Yes, and as you know, only the ambassador and his secretariat may touch it. Which I believe means that neither you nor your men were able to examine it, correct? You know very well that if we did, there'd be an international incident between the Kingdom of Albahest and the Republic of Babal. The two countries' precarious relationship teeters in the balance over a stupid fight related to the sovereignty of statue. But I'll be damned if I let something go unexamined.
Hold it.
Agent Lane, if you could take a look at this. The direction of the statue is facing just before and after the crime are different. And there is only one conclusion I can draw from that. Oh. Go look for Ambassador Alba and get him to give us the okay to examine the statue. Shifu, you can't listen to this infidel's words. He's most definitely trying to trick you. Shifu, please let us be rational about this. Lazy says. Just go already. Yes, sir. Shifu! Yeah? I'm really sorry, sir, but I was unable to convince the ambassador. I was unable to obtain permission for us to examine the Prima Duck statue. I see. Then the investigation would be at a standstill. Agent Lang, I will go speak to the ambassador personally. Save your breath. You may act all weak and frail, but that old man's one tough cookie. But I guess you've got to be tough when you're representing a whole country, you know? Agent Lang, what do you want? Let's just hurry up and examine the statue already. Miss Shifu, what about causing an international incident? Quiet. I'll take the fall if I have to later.
Hold it.
Agent Lane, Ooh. I'm not slandering them, I'm just straightening the facts. They suck more than the Keystone Cops. Agent Lane, the hypothesis is mine, so if someone is to take responsibility, let it be me. Responsibility? If we're going to talk about such heavy terms, maybe I should let you. It'd be a real problem for my men if something were to happen to me. Alright then, less talk and more investigating.
If we want to know the truth, we can't stop here. Actions must be taken. Agent Lang, I'd like to run a chemiluminescence test. Ooh, that's a word. On the statue. Luminol test. Good thinking. If the statue's in the murder weapon, then something in the victim's blood should be on it. Okay, let's get the forensics team here.
Ta-da-da!
Yeah, looks like you hit the jackpot, Mr. Prosecutor. Guess this means that this is the real weapon that killed Dead Mask 2.
Indeed.
But I wouldn't celebrate if I were you yet. This doesn't let your friend off the hook. It doesn't prove that he didn't kill Damask 2, so the charges remain.
We are hardly done examining the statue, Agent Lang. Knowing that this is the real weapon, I believe further examination is required.
You think so? Okay then, knock yourself out. Well, I saw that. And what do we have here? A dirty smudge. Looks like a handprint. That's definitely a bit of evidence like you... What's a definitive piece of evidence like you doing under here? Looks like we got some fingerprints to analyze. Worst case scenario, these prints belong to Larry. But it looks like it's too late for me to do anything about that now. Hey, forensics guy. I want results on these fingerprints ASAP, you hear me? Agent Lang, we have analysis results, sir. Good, Ian. Sir, about the prints we lifted from the bottom of the statue. Well, you know the victim of the murder in the Balinese embassy? The prints belong to him, Mr. Manny Cochin, sir. But that's... What's going on here?
No, that's impossible. Each prima doc statue can only be handed by someone of that country. But the very fact that Mr. Cochin's fingerprints are on this one, it leads me to only one conclusion. This statue is actually the Babal's prima doc statue.
Impossible. It can't be.
Larry never once set foot on the Babalinese soil, so he was free to go. However, this new piece of information only served to confuse us even further. The ringleader of the smuggling operation was killed with the Albastian knife in Babal. And Damask too was killed in Albastian soil with a Babal national's treasure. And the mystery of the great thief Yatagarasu, who visited both countries. The pieces were there, but I had yet to see the big picture. They were to form. To be continued.
Look at that. We did pretty good time on that. Gotta be careful about what you find in the embassy. Boo. Honestly, we did lots of progress there. We prevented Larry from being accused of murder. We lived through Wendy. And we found shenanigans. Okay, Pat Fenrir. Alright. Next time, we will continue the case to figure out what the hell is going on. Hopefully my voice will recover by then. Good night, all. Have a good one.